What's up, guys? How are you? It's hump day. Hope y'all are fucking enjoying it. Week's almost over. And tonight we're going to have a little bit of fun. So I hope you're ready. Because tonight I bring you a really fucking cool band. So let's get right fucking into it.
In place to keep us in chains by a show of hands. Who else is sick and tired of the same 1%? Trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out, minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we...
And welcome, everybody, to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome. Derek, how the fuck are you guys doing today on this beautiful May 12th of the year that has been 2021? Welcome to Hump Day. Welcome to episode 199. Oh my God, 199. Thanks so much for everyone that tuned in last night or this afternoon or whenever you guys listened to it, to episode 198 yesterday. That was a really heartfelt episode, and thank you so much for the love that I've been getting from it. I appreciate it. I still truly mean everything I said in that episode. You guys are the lifeblood of the show. You know, the bands are great. I'm cool, but if it wasn't for you guys, I would not have been able to do this show the way I do it. So thank you. But the sappiness was from last night, not tonight. So fuck that shit. Let's have some fun, because tonight I have with me a band that is releasing their debut EP. And the first single and video for it is out now. And it is fucking amazing. The name of the song is called Nowhere Near. It is badass. The link for it is in the bio of this video and the podcast. So please check it out. But you know what? Let's just get right into it, because, you know, we're going to have some fun with these guys. So please welcome the band from Boston, Massachusetts, BliND. DRiVE. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yo, what's up, Derek? How you doing?
You know what? I couldn't be better. Couldn't be better at all.
It's good to hear.
I'm glad you guys were able to take time out of your Wednesday to talk to me.
Oh, thanks so much for having us, man. Really, really, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I've been checking out your guys' stuff. And it's and when I say, you know, I said debut album or debut EP, but it's not really, because you guys took a break for a while, and this is kind of your reintroduction. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, kind of starting off fresh, but not really. But either way, that song Nowhere Near, man, fucking hits hard, and it the video is badass. The whole idea of the concept of it was really cool. It was just really fucking badass, and I was definitely excited to get to talk to you guys once I heard that.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's like a mad heavy song. I know even when we were in like the studio, just like recording it, I know like there's a point where like Aaron couldn't even like keep doing it. That song definitely hits hard, man.
You know, it's funny. So I literally just got off of another podcast that I'm releasing on Monday. And we were literally talking about this exact subject of, you know, those songs that just hit hard, and, you know, the emotion behind the song, and, you know, the, you know, crying at the drop of a hat while you're singing a song, or fucking up the lyrics, or, you know, not, you know, singing in key because you're just so, you know, emotion behind it. and that this song really was that, that way for me. Especially, with my background in mental health, as far as, having bipolar and anxiety and stuff like that, this song just kind of hit different. And it's pretty fucking badass.
I think that's really great that you can feel the music deeply, and we can connect to you like that. I love speaking for mental health awareness because I also am bipolar, so like those lyrics really come from a place,
Yeah.
that I feel like I can relate to.
Yeah, it's when you can connect to an artist through mental health or through other types of, connections that really kind of just, brings it to another level. One of my now favorite musicians is still a guy that I can't stand on a personal level because I just think he's a dick. But the things that he's been through, and the way he writes his music, and the emotion behind his lyrics, really kind of speak loudly. And that's Ronnie Radke of Falling in Reverse. You know, the things that he puts out there is, not a lot of people would. And I definitely felt that vibe from this song particularly.
Wow, thanks so much.
That's a good. He's definitely a wild guy, but he's a hell of a musician. So that's a good comparison. I love that.
He is an unfiltered, megalomaniac, but at the same time, he's one of those people that has an ego because people shit on him all the time. So he's like, I know I'm good, but nobody else thinks I'm good. So fuck you guys. I'm gonna show you how good I am. But the way he just goes about it is completely fucked up. But but either way, his music, just like I said, I mean, everything from like Popular Monster to the reimagination songs he's done this year, whether it be The Drug on Me Is You or I'm Not a Vampire, and just all these other songs that he's done, just, massively talk about mental health and stuff like that. The same thing goes for a band called Bad Flower, who is a huge part of my life now because of that song Ghost that they did. And then on top of that, just so many other bands, Nothing More, and other bands that just really have that mental health, image about them, and they're all about it. And when I first heard that song you guys did, Nowhere Near, I really felt that hard. And I was like, okay, I can definitely connect with these guys big time.
Sweet. That's awesome. That's really fucking great.
It's definitely great. Well, we're like I feel like we're really lucky to be in a scene that kind of harps on that stuff. I feel like like different music has different messages, but I know with punk shit, I mean, I even just think about even like a band like a Day to Remember with their self-help fest and shit. I just feel like we got such a supportive community, so it's great. It's awesome to hear that we're helping be a part of that. I know that's awesome for us. So
I love you. Can I have a hug?
Oh my God! Everyone say hi to my daughter.
Hi.
hey.
Hi.
Go. Anyway, yeah, I'm very, very familiar with A Day to Remember. They, I'm not originally from Florida, but I spent the majority of my life in Florida, and they're huge hometown boys in Ocala because that's where they're from. So yeah, A Day to Remember, they have a special place in my heart as well. So yeah, the stuff that they've done as well is pretty fucking cool.
Ocala's, that's like a sneaky music city. I know Wage War is also from there.
Yep, Wage War. Yep.
Where in Florida were you from? Where
I was just outside of Orlando.
Nice. I heard that Orlando actually has a pretty good scene.
It does now. Back in the day, it didn't. Well, let me rephrase that. It's always had a good scene. But back in the day when I was playing music and in bands, everybody was all about, let's do what's cool and get it on the radio. That's our goal. Let's get on the radio. No, we can't do that. That's too hardcore. Let's get on the radio. Quit saying fuck so much. I want to get on the radio. Don't growl. You need to sing. I want to get on the radio. And I was like, no, can we just be ourselves and have some fun with it? And that's one of the main reasons I left the music business back then, because it was just that kind of crap. I hated it. But now it's not like that anymore, thankfully. One of the biggest bands that come out of Orlando is Trivium. And they just hit fucking hard. I used to be good friends with Matt. I haven't talked to him in years, but Matt was a cool guy. But you know, that scene, again, like I said, used to have a, you know, just a huge let's get on the radio type mentality, and I hated that. But now, like I said, with today, you got Spotify and everything else in between. It's not about getting on the radio anymore. It's just about getting heard and about what you got to do to get heard. And you know, it's a lot easier to get heard, but it's a lot harder to get heard these days too. At the same time.
Oh, I feel that, man.
Yeah.
More of like the
100% true.
The accessibility being there, but then everyone realizing that the accessibility is there and everyone hopping on it. So like, yeah, it's easy to get there. Once you're there, you realize
The bar is raised so much higher for like the average musician now, because everybody can like do whatever they want now. Like the average person can just like get a Mac and then like start like mixing their own stuff or like mastering their own stuff, which you couldn't do like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, the fact that anybody can do it now, it's like, it's great in the way that like anybody, again, it's really accessible, anybody can do it, but it's tough to get heard because there's so many people doing it now.
Yeah, it is very, very saturated. However, the ones that are good are getting the plays that deserve it. Because I mean, it's easy to weed out the shit. You know, we know the guys that are just sitting there recording just on a Mac and auto-tuning the fuck out of things and sampling guitar sounds from, you know, random websites and, you know, then trying to make a song out of that shit. It's, you know, we can tell that kind of stuff. And thankfully so, because that kind of crap just pisses me off. I can do it. I'm a musician. What do? I play the computer. That's not a musical instrument, you fuck. That's a recording device at most, and an editing device. You don't play the computer, which is why I'm not a big fan of like rap and shit like that, because, you know, that exact reason. I like people who actually can play music and do it the right way, but that's just me. There's a lot of talented rap artists out there, so I'm not saying anything negative about the whole genre. However, if the only thing that you can do is mix on a fucking computer, then you're not a real artist, in my opinion. But
I think that, and I don't know if like this might be like a difference of age or something, just because like in my own experience, I've encountered a lot of like older musicians, at least here in Boston, like, you know, the scenes that I've encountered, who have the same mentality where they're like, no, I want like the real thing, like I want the raw talent and like the instruments and stuff like that. But I think in like our young, like people in our age and probably younger more so, who grew up on more like stuff like I don't know, like Daft Punk or LCD Sound System, is like, that was like already like kind of legendary. I don't know if I'm already bleeding through, sorry. Like that was already kind of like established, you know, like that's what we grew up with. So, you know, like I think that I'm fucking stoned as shit, sorry. I think that like we're more open to like to the different like aspects of music making, in terms of like I don't know, like I got a launch pad right here. I never thought I'd get a launch pad or something like that, because I kind of associated with like the same thing, like producers who like just kind of like use interface to like crutch their own lack of musical experience. But like I feel like it's just a completely new way to approach music, and I think that like seeing a lot of people making music that way now, like using things like MIDI controllers instead of real pianos or real guitars, you know, and then they're still making really amazing music. Like I think that's something to be said about, like, I think it's less about like the instrumentality of it now and just more about like how people can process music, and like really they're just using the resources they can to like put it together. And I think now that people are like approaching music with like so many different backgrounds, like there are just so many ways to do it now. And like, you know, I think like I used to be in that camp very much of like, it needs to be like the real instrument, it can't be a sample, it needs to be the real thing. But now I feel like, you know, you use what you can, and like if that's what you kind of grew up with, or like that's the sound you want to use, then I respect it. And I think I kind of see like the artistry in it, and like it's kind of like another sort of tool in the tool belt, I guess, just to kind of I think that's an interesting conversation in music in general.
Yeah, you only get so far though. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that like you need like if it's like if you're using like MIDI and you have like a good sense of like scales and you're actually making shit that's melodic, I can respect that more. But I feel like I still like love like MIDI music. I love hip hop music and shit, but the repetitiveness is like there's like a creativity that's lacking that I feel like we have in like instrument music more so in like rock music or whatever. But
Oh yeah, MIDI music is like a whole nother world of shit. Like I went to school for audio engineering, and like there was also hip hop and beat making and an EDM course of like other students doing those courses. And I would look at their laptop and like listen to their shit, and like I could never pull off shit that they could pull off. But I could like play a guitar, I could play a drum set, I could play a harmonica. But you put me behind a computer and tell me to make a song like that shit, like them motherfuckers, fuck that. I can't do that shit.
It's like a whole nother like art. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I'm not saying that they're not, talented. It's just, there's it's hard for me to explain. For me, it's just, here's a good example. And I might be getting the band wrong, so, don't at me for this, guys, or people at home, whatever. But I believe about 10 years ago, the band From Ashes to New was just one guy, the guy who's the rapper in that group. He's the one who created the entire thing. He's created the first demo and everything like that, MIDI, stuff like that. He's got a guy to do some clean vocals as well, and then they eventually created the whole band and redid everything they did, from the MIDI to, actual guitars and stuff like that, and recreated that. And, even still to this day, they don't have a bass player. They just do it, they have a electronic bass in the background. But,
nice.
But at the same time, they took it to the next level. While I think, it does take a great amount of skill, as far as your ear holes go, to create some great stuff with, electronically through a computer and through a MIDI. The whole idea of playing a guitar, using your fingers, getting those calluses, getting sore arms from hitting that drum, or you're wearing out your legs from constantly double kicking that bass, or whatever the case might be. I don't want that art form to ever get lost. And I feel if there's too many people out there enjoying the MIDI process versus the actual music playing process, it will eventually happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like, I mean, even just like practicing, there's nothing like practicing in a room with like fucking like stacks with your friends sweating in like a fucking basement for 3 hours practicing the same songs over and over. Like you can't get that same feeling off in like a computer. That's just like its own thing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, and plus, unless you're gonna have everything pre-recorded, samples, when you go up on stage, you have to actually play the things and do the things, and all you can do is stay in one spot and, maybe headbang and sing, but you, again, lose that connection with the crowd because you're not dancing all over the place, being able to play the guitar over here and then play it over there as well, and jump into the crowd and sing inside the crowd while you're fucking, crowd surfing and shit like that. You kind of lose some of that.
But even the major, like some of like major hip hop artists they'll be at a concert and they'll play their song like with the vocals and they'll sing over it, and it's just like that one.
It's kind of surreal.
It's like, dude, like I like all these people came to pay to see you like sing the song over the song with the vocals. It's
well, now there's actually one band that is my personal favorite of all time that does that as well, but I know why they do it, and that's Avenged Sevenfold.
Interesting. I didn't realize I did that.
So Matt has had a lot of vocal issues over the years. He blew out his vocal cords after the self-titled album, in between where they did the White Album and Nightmare after Jimmy's death. He's done some other stuff as well. And that he's just recovering another time from this huge vocal infection. So in order to not blow out his vocal cords, he does leave a lot of the screaming tracks playing in the background. He just does a lot of singing. He still does a lot of screaming on stage too, but he's always got it playing in the background, and just in case. So with situations like that, I can almost understand it. Even Matt from I said Trivium, he's done it as well because he's blown his vocal cords out as well. The only difference was he wasn't even sure if he could ever scream again. So, you know, they actually released a whole album of just clean vocals because they were like, let's try to transition and see if this will happen. And that was the album When the World Goes Cold. So I kind of get in certain aspects of it, but there's a lot of people that just do it just because they don't want to sing all the time or they're too busy, you know, just waving their, you know, like that whole Ashley Simpson fiasco on fucking on SNL from a few years back. You know, that right there is just laziness. But if you're doing it because of a purpose, because, you know, you've had vocal history in the past, I can understand it.
I'm with that, sure.
Get on that.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, just make sure you don't blow out your shit, okay?
Yeah, I'll try.
Aaron's been really good about his technique. He's been like warming up and shit before practice and stuff.
I love that Aaron's into the warm-ups, man. That's so important.
Yeah, it is. It really fucking is. Those warm-ups are key, man. Back in my day, I knew guys that would just say fuck it and just go out there and, you know, drink a few beers and a few shots of whiskey and just say fuck it. You know, even like some of the pros, like the lead singer of Machine Head, Rob, that guy does no fucking warm-ups. I don't know how the hell he still even has a fucking voice. All that guy drinks is fucking, you know, Jack Daniels and Life. That's all he drinks. I mean, I don't even know how he fucking still does it. But that's, you know, that's just who the people are. And then there's some people that are gifted like that, like Rob Halford of Judas Priest. I mean, that guy has just a gift from somebody to be able to sing the way he does, and he rarely ever does vocal warm-ups from what I understand. So it's all about the skill.
Well, yeah, I used to not warm up like when we first started jamming, like in the fall, like late summer, fall. I wouldn't warm up at all, and I just couldn't. By the end of practice, I would blow my voice out, and I couldn't hit high notes. And then I think like a month before we started recording in February, I started warming up before every practice, and for like 20 minutes, and it's just like I could sing effortlessly, and like I wouldn't blow my voice out, and then when we recorded, it just really came in clutch.
It's the way to do it. Absolutely is the fucking way to do it. So, you guys are releasing this EP, and it is badass. I've heard it. It's awesome. The name of the EP is called Redemption. It's just 2 tracks, and you know, and then you've got this other song that's not on that EP, Nowhere Near. So what is going on here?
So Redemption, it actually Nowhere Near is on it. So it's Through Thin Air and Nowhere Near is the 2 songs for that one.
Yep.
And it's like honestly, that was kind of like, we felt like those was our kind of our songs that would appeal to everyone the most. We felt like both those songs, neither of them were like you know, it wasn't, you know, too like heavy or anything that was going to off-put people. But we also felt like really confident that they were kind of bangers. So we decided to start with those 2. We have some plans to hopefully go back into the studio this summer. We recorded up at Revelry Studios in Manchester, New Hampshire, with our guy Matt Blanchette, who did like the best job ever. Aaron can talk about more because Aaron's like kind of boys with him. But our plan is just to keep putting out like maybe do like another release of 2 or 3 songs later in the summer, and then hopefully the goal is to put out something a little more substantial, maybe like a longer EP or a short album to be like the first big release, maybe early 2020 or something like that. But we have like our 30-minute set already kind of tight and like all set to go. So we'll see. Maybe we'll even try and do things earlier, just since we've been kind of cranking out new material. But we were really happy and proud to put these 2 songs out first. We felt like they were both really, really good. So.
Oh yeah.
So what's now, we've got, you know, things are starting to open up. You know, Florida's fully open, Texas is fully open, Mississippi, you know, down here in Virginia, we're slowly starting to open up. Hopefully, you know, June 15th is the date we're hearing. Same thing in DC, thank God, so I can start doing some fucking comedy again. You know, so what's the plan as far as doing some touring and playing some live shows?
Well, you know, our goal in kind of putting this band together, it was kind of off the back of our last band, Great Cliff, because we went on a great tour where we talked to or where we played like a bunch of Midwestern cities for the first time, which was super cool. You know, we actually played like Fredericksburg in Virginia, so we got to play Virginia. But it was such a great experience. We kind of all decided we're like, shit, this is like what we want to try and do, you know, like with our life and all that. So the goal is definitely to get out and tour like as soon as we can. Obviously, right now, New England especially, I think has been very, I guess,
Cautious.
say like cautious, yeah, in terms of rolling shit out. So I think that I've heard that like June 1st, Massachusetts specifically is supposed to be loosening some restrictions. So hopefully we'll see more shows. I've seen like big bands, you know, posting their tour dates. So they're coming through in the fall and playing indoor venues in Mass. So that's a good sign to me. But we do have we got a show May 29th up in Burlington, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I believe, outdoor show, kind of DIY at somebody's house sort of thing. So we're stoked for that. That's our first one. And we're also playing a festival. We're gonna be on Saturday. I think it's July 23rd is the date. I might be wrong, but it's that weekend. We're playing up in Lebanon, Maine, which is like a little bit south of Portland, and that's a festival. So that's the two we got right now. I've been trying to grind and see what other booking opportunities we might have. It's definitely been like very weird. I've seen like different bands try and book shit and get like called out by other people by not taking like shit seriously, but I've also seen some shows work out. We even as a band we went to a show on a beach where it's like I think that if you can do it outdoors, you can take the proper precautions. I think that like definitely I think with the rest of it seems like it's coming back for real. Like the big bands announcing their tours and shit, that seems like we're on the track where it's gonna be back soon, hopefully. So
Yeah, I mean, just in the last month alone, I mean, we've had shit, I don't even know how many fucking festivals have been announced and sold out in days. You know, up in Kentucky, we've got Incarceration, which just sold out. Here in Virginia, we've got the Blue Ridge Festival, which
saw
is
that one.
basically
That's-
yeah. That there's more bands on that one than there is on Incarceration. Like they haven't even still announced them all yet, and it's already sold out. But yeah, I got my tickets for that one, so I'm happy about that one. But you know, then in the fall in California, we've got Aftershock, and they're coming back, and they're coming back hard, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. And the fact that these places are selling out so quickly is just a sign of what's gonna happen. It's people are begging for it. I mean, it's only been a year, but damn it, it's felt like eternity. I mean, I haven't seen a show since Labor Day weekend of 2019. And that is a tough pill to swallow. I mean, now granted, it was a great fucking show. It was the Slipknot Road Tour with Volbeat, Gojira, and Behemoth, but you know, it was still Labor Day weekend of 2019. I mean, that's almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So I'm itching. I'm itching hard.
We're definitely itching to play. I think that for us, it was January 5th, 2020 was our last one that we played with Great Cliff.
Great Cliff. And we went to you and me and some friends went to a house show in Lowell.
Yeah, we went to that was a great show too. Span Driveways up in Boston. They're a pretty solid band. I've seen them get a little attention, but yeah, man, we can't wait for it to be back. I think that of all the aspects of music, at least for me, like the live shows is my favorite. Like I love playing. I really enjoy booking. I know some like people in other local bands I talk to, they don't really like booking, but I actually like really like it. But I'm just so stoked for it to come back. I know that when it comes back, we're gonna be hitting it hard, and I'm so stoked that we have that one show up in Burlington. Hopefully everything goes well with it, but it's just gonna be fun to fucking play for some people, you know.
Yeah, and especially the New England area has been synonymous with, you know, good fucking bands over the last, 10, 15 years, whether it be Killswitch Engage, now, or now Light the Torch as well, and now bands like, obviously, All That Remains, even though they've kind of gone downhill. What we want to talk about them, or Ice Nine Kills. You know, there's so much good shit coming out of the New England area. So you know, the bar's set pretty high.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Our next release is gonna be it's gonna have more of a message than our first release. This first release has been more like a personal thing as far as lyrical material. But this next EP is gonna have more of a message with it, and hopefully it reaches more people. You know what I mean?
Message how?
We stand for something. It's like we're standing against abuse in this next release.
Okay. That's a definite definite good thing to be standing against, you know.
Yeah, I feel.
Especially somebody who is a survivor of abuse, you know. So I can definitely speak that well.
It's just something that's too real, you know. It's like it's too common in this world.
You all right, dude? You got a little emotional there. Seems like.
I'm good. I'm all right.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. Like I said, I was a victim of abuse, of domestic abuse. I was in a very abusive marriage, mentally and physically. So you know that's where my PTSD comes from, and it's rough. But at the same time, it's one of those things where, you know, now I use it as a form of comedy, and I talk about it a lot on here, and I utilize it in the best way I possibly can. But the message now, or excuse me, rephrase that. The bands that are having a message now, period, are the bands that are really starting to make an impact. So, you know, if you have that message and you do it the right way, you know, the sky's the fucking limit. You know what I mean?
I really want it to be a message of hope. You know, because that's something that people need out of music.
I agree, 100%. I use music as a form of, you know, coping mechanism. You know, when I'm having my down days, you know, and I can barely get out of bed, it's music or really sappy television. You know, music literally saved my life. So, you know, my suicide attempt was saved by that song "Ghost" by Bad Flower. You know, and I haven't looked the same. I mean, I've always loved music, and I've always loved music from the bottom of my soul. But now it's like, ever since that moment, I've loved music with my entire body. You know what I mean? It's just taken a whole other step. And music is a way to connect people mentally, physically, emotionally. You know, it knows no bounds. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're at a festival, you know, we might have 50 fucking racist people there, just hypothetically speaking. But we're at a festival. Everyone is like loves everybody. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a racist act or a hate act ever happen at a festival. You know what I'm saying? But you'll see every color, age, religion, you know, everything at a fucking, you know, music festival. And we know that you're not gonna be able to go to a place like that and not see some type of, you know, asshole there. But you know what?
Yeah.
That day, they're all about the music, and everyone's there all about the fucking music.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people who go to these festivals are also people who can proudly say that music has saved their life too. You know, it's just
Absolutely.
incredible how music can really touch people. Like, what's a good song example? I don't know. I can't even think of one. I just have so many songs that have gotten me through so much shit, man. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty young. I'm only 20, but I've been around the corner once or twice. I'm sure a lot of people have, especially this past year. But music, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for music, man.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm 40, and I can sit there and say that, you know, recently I've heard more songs with a message now than I ever have. You know, going back in the 90s and 2000s, it was all about, you know, anti-war, anti-government, you know, Rage Against the Machine, you know, System of a Down shit. which still happens today, but nothing like nothing like this whole mental health movement. Like even a year and a half ago, in December of 2019, I believe it was, Falling in Reverse released Popular Monster, which is a huge song about mental health. It is a powerhouse of a song about mental health. Or in 2018, Ghost by Bad Flower, or back in 2012, Jenny by Nothing More. There's been so much of this kind of stuff, and it doesn't matter how old you are, what age you are now. It's just accessible to you at your fucking fingertips. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the music that is attractive to people like I don't know, the younger crowd, like the young adults, and like a lot of people with young adults, I feel like are now becoming more open about their mental illness, and like these days actually going out and seeking help. I think that's like a terrific, that we're kind of destroying the stigma of like, at least like the toxic masculinity stigma of like men shouldn't seek help, and like like all that bullshit.
And that's actually where the name of the show actually comes from, is from that exact sentiment. Growing up as a kid in the 90s with bipolar disorder, even though I wasn't diagnosed at the time, I knew there was something wrong. I just never wanted to admit it. And I was always told, suck it up, you'll be fine. And then when I got older, in my 20s, that's what whiskey was invented for. But now, so the whole idea of the show is, when life tells you to suck it up, we tell life to suck it. So that's where the name of the show comes from.
That's terrific.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, that's the idea is, using entertainment and music as a way to cope with your day-to-day issues. It's when you are just constantly dwelling on it, and not letting things go. Like I talked last night about the fact about how, we're always worrying about tomorrow. And the fact that we're worrying about tomorrow makes today even worse. But there's nothing going on today. So why are we sit here making today horrible when we're worrying about tomorrow? So now we're going to have 2 bad days for the sake of one. And we don't even know if tomorrow's going to be bad. It hasn't happened yet. But we're still going to sit here and worry about it. It's just this constant cycle of shit that we put ourselves through. And, mental health is a constant war. It's a lifelong war. It's never going to be won. You're going to lose a hell of a lot, but you're also going to win a hell of a lot, because you're just going to fight these little tiny battles. And it's a matter of whether or not you want to continue to fight or not. And the ones that, decide not continue to fight, I get it, but at the same time, I don't. But the ones that continue on, more power to you. Your family needs you.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I think people need to, there's no simple answer to like any of that. People have their reasons for doing the things they do and feeling the way they feel. But I think like personally, I've just kind of obviously been doing a lot of self-reflection. I think a lot of people have during these trying times. And, it's like, I think there's a lot to be said about like self-development and stuff like that. But I kind of lost my train of thought, I'll be honest with you.
No.
Kids, don't do
Damn.
drugs.
Don't do drugs. Damn. I had a good point to make too. Shit. I knew this was gonna happen. I got stage fright.
Aw.
Damn.
Womp womp womp.
Womp womp. What was the original point you were making? What were you saying? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail the conversation.
I don't even fucking know what it was. I don't know if I had a point. I think I was just rambling.
Just shooting the shit. Okay. Well, one thing I did want to say actually was, talking about mental health and music. It's nothing new, obviously. Like that's not something that just came out. But I think there's a lot of like cool stuff, and I think like especially being a man and dealing with ideas of like masculinity. I really like your podcast name origin story. I like the lore behind it. But I think there's like a lot of cool music, especially like, I don't know if you listen to like some music coming out of England recently, like Idols or Sleaford Mods or stuff like that. But a lot of it like is just kind of like taking on ideas of like being a man, suck it up, like just stuff like that. Just like so, like they're not beating around the bush. They're not using metaphors. They're like literally just talking about it and just talking about like, you know, like I like to dress in pink and stuff like that. Just like Slow Tie too, Slow Tie. A lot of those dudes have just been like they've been really in a lot of ways. I think as men growing up in this generation, I think they've been saying a lot of stuff that like we've been feeling and internalizing, and like just hearing this and that music is like it's so liberating to be like, yeah, like this is bullshit, you know. And you know, again, it's nothing new, but it's like to hear it in like such fresh terms and like in like so like, you know, even though they're people from like another country and stuff, like it's still so real and like the upbringing is so relevant to us and like so similar anyways. I
Yeah.
think that's like,
I talked to a punk band out of England not too long ago by the name of Royals, and you know, we were talking and had, you know, just shooting the shit, and the things that they were talking about and the things that they deal with on a day-to-day basis, I swear to
I
God.
mean, I don't know, maybe it's just something about like Western civilization just kind of converging into one culture at this point. But you know, it's you know, there's a lot of parallels, and like I think like it's awesome that like music is the it's the vessel that like just it's the vessel that like just drives us all together in that sense. Like if that's what we can connect to, and that's what we can be like, okay, these are where the similarities in our lives begin, and like we can trace it like through there. So I don't know, I really appreciate that. It's definitely helped me, a person who in terms of mental health, like I've had like a lot of social anxiety dealing with people, just using it as a way to like connect with people, just being able to like say things that I can't normally say. As you can tell, I'm very bad at verbalizing things in normal conversation. um you know, like it's just awesome that you can just use that as like to like just be point blank and be like, this is what I want to say, and there's so many ways to say this one thing, and like you're gonna like, I don't know, learn something new about the person who said it. You're gonna learn something new about the person who's hearing it every time you listen to it again. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's why I do this show the way I do it, in the sense that, you know, it's not so much about, hey, we're going to talk about this new EP, or hey, we're going to talk about this new LP. We're not going to talk about the new tour that you got going on. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but the whole idea behind the show is to let people know, hey, you know, this is who you guys are as people, and you know, to really kind of dive in depth about why you do what you do and who you are, because yeah, we can listen to the single and say, wow, I really like these guys, but who the fuck are they? And that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to convey when I do these types of episodes, is, you know, can really conveying who these people are, because, you know, unless you're, you know, Avenged Sevenfold or, you know, Slipknot or Seven Dust or whoever, you know, when you hear a song on the radio, you're not like, oh, I know who those guys are, they're freaking pretty badass. Now you're just kind of like, oh, that's a good song, okay, cool. But then to be able to connect with them on a different level like I do here, that's the whole idea, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Totally, I like that.
It's really, I feel like it's in like the social media landscape. I feel like we need to start even taking more advantage of that, because it's super important to, I feel like, with musicians to connect with the people listening to the music on that level, the kind of outside of just the notes that are being played and whatnot. And it's just I don't know, man. It's great what you do with the podcast. I think that we got started trying to replicate that more just with ourselves as well. So
Yeah, for sure.
Just being real. I mean, that's what it's all about, though, right?
100%.
I mean, the more real you are, the more you connect with people. Yeah, I mean, using that Ronnie Radke example, you know, again, he's a dick. I mean, he knows he's a dick, but he's loved by his fans. You know, I mean, that guy's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. You know, Popular Monster was fucking number one on the rock charts for 36 or 40 some odd weeks, you know, because he's real. And that's what people want these days, is realism. You know, and that's why, you know, even people like Machine Gun Kelly, you know, dropped that pop punk album last year, and everyone was like, wow, this is real. I mean, let's go ahead and utilize it. And some of the bands that I've talked to on this show have really dug on that too. And it's like, you know, this guy who was a mumble rapper who feuded with Eminem is now playing fucking punk music. And they're like, what the fuck is this? You know? Or someone like Miley Cyrus, who just dropped a fucking pop punk album in December and is now working on a, you know, Metallica covers album. You know, it's like, you know, it's real. you know, because they see who these people are in real life. I mean, Miley Cyrus, you know, I just got done talking to this other band about it before I got into the show with you, was the fact that, you know, even 5 or 6 years after she released Wrecking Ball, she still cries on stage. I mean, back at the Super Bowl pre-show, she cried on stage when she sang that song because it's still so fucking real. And it's things like that make people like her appeal to the masses, you know. And the more real you are, the more fans you're gonna have. You can have great fucking music. There's a lot of bands that have great fucking music that will never see the light of day, and there's a reason why.
That's some wisdom right there, man.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
I'm just an idiot comedian who does a podcast, so I don't drop words of wisdom.
No, you are.
I mean, comedy is all just truth presented in an absurd manner, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, I mean, you're saying something right. I don't know. I agree.
Yeah, especially with my shit. My shit gets real, and I get a lot of people after the fact to be like, was that a true story? Yeah, I kind of, you know, fubbed some of it, but yeah, it's pretty much a true story. Because my whole life is a fucking sitcom, so might as well put it out there for the rest of the world to see too.
Fair enough.
You know, divorced twice, 3 kids, all by different women.
Ugh.
Yeah, welcome to my shit show.
Well, at least you're living.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. What was that?
Livin, you know, like from fucking Confused.
Oh yeah. Great movie. Great fucking movie.
That is a great movie. I just watched Lords of Dogtown last night, and I'm not sure if you guys have watched that movie before, but like I thought that was like, growing up, that was kind of a classic. I watched it like when I was in middle school or something like that. But this is the first time watching it again. I'm like, I'm not sure. Like that. First of all, the fucking soundtrack is amazing. It's based in like 1975 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like also like one of those like seminal, like it's a skateboarding movie, you know, skater surfboarding movie. But like, I think it's also like a big like just rock and roll music video. I mean, movie too. Just like
yeah.
In terms of the culture, the soundtrack is just like hugely influential. I think a lot of people that watch that movie just like listen to that after the fact. That was a great movie.
It was.
Yeah.
It kind of shows you what San Diego or San Francisco skate scene was at the time or whatever. Yeah. That was a good fucking movie.
Yeah, no, it's on Amazon Prime. People want to watch that. This isn't sponsored by Amazon Prime, I bet. But
no, but I'm on Amazon Prime. So.
Yeah, so check it out.
Check me out on Amazon Prime.
Are you on Amazon Prime?
I am.
Well, you got like a special on there?
No, I my episodes are up on there.
Oh, the podcast.
Yeah.
I like that. You're on Amazon Prime right now.
Nice, dude. Yes.
What
up, Bezos?
And I also have an Amazon Fire TV app as well.
Nice. Yeah. I'm a
cheap plug.
Cheap plug.
Yeah, don't watch me on YouTube. Just watch me on Fire TV. There you go.
Just watch on Fire TV, any Amazon device.
There you go. It's about being accessible, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's why you don't upload your music just to fucking Spotify. You upload it to all of them.
That's true. You got to give it to everybody.
Napster.
Does Napster still even exist?
Yes, it does. It's a streaming service now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think we're
on Napster. I think it's part of like the like if you, God, what's it called? DistroKid.
Yeah, when you upload it,
DistroKid puts you on Napster. I think.
Never heard of before.
You're on a bunch of shit that like people.
I wonder who like uses those. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of like platforms that my podcast is on. I'm like, I didn't even know those things existed. Like Castbox. I'm like, what the fuck is Castbox?
Yeah, no, it's like Samsung refrigerator. It's like, okay.
Hey, if somebody could listen to my show through their Samsung refrigerator, that is fucking cool.
That'd be pretty dope. I mean, the future's here.
Yeah,
the future is definitely here in a lot of respects. Like we have a lot of luxuries now.
Dude, I don't have this, but I wish I did. I can go to the grocery store, pull up my Samsung refrigerator app, and actually see what's inside my refrigerator.
What?
Damn, that's nuts.
Again, I don't own this refrigerator, but I wish I did. It is literally, there's a fucking camera inside your fucking refrigerator that you can actually see what. Oh, do I need milk? Oh, I don't remember. Let me look at my fucking refrigerator. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I need milk.
That is wild. That's nuts.
That's extra. I don't know how useful it is.
That's extra.
That's really extra, but I like it. I mean, so is like having a screen on your refrigerator. Having Wi-Fi connection on your refrigerator is extra, to be honest.
Yeah.
The fucking future right there.
Yeah.
Having a flip phone in 2021 that's double screen is extra. But fuck, I want one.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, just to kind of like flex on people and just be like, hello?
Yeah. I so want a fucking Samsung Fold. Oh my god. Those things are so beautiful looking.
I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous to break it.
That's why I'm waiting on the third one. Because hopefully they'll have the kinks worked out.
That's a good, I think that's a good generation to shoot for.
Yeah, the Z Fold 2 is supposed to be pretty good, but I'm waiting for the third one. It's supposed to come out this summer, and that's when I'm going to get it. So, technology, man, it's fucking scary as shit, but it's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, just what I'm, looking at right now, to think about, there's no way in hell this could ever happen 50 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. The fact that I have 2 cameras set up in my basement, looking at 2 fucking computer screens and, being able to record audio and video separately, therefore I can just upload everything right away and, being able to mix as I go. And I'm like, how the fuck is this even possible?
It's incredible. It's like, I feel like in our lifetime, we've like witnessed this exponential boom of technology. It's just like, I don't know if it's a relative thing or if we're just lucky, but it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm still waiting on
iPhones
holograms.
Existed when we were born in the band.
I'm still waiting on
like
holograms.
I remember the iPhone.
Well, they got the hologram Tupac and Dio. And
No,
stuff
I'm
like
talking about hologram on my phone, to where I like help me Obi-Wan, you're my only hope type fucking hologram.
I think
I've seen some like YouTube videos, but honestly, it could be fake. Like at some like tech show or something like that, like some sort of weird like hologram, but it looks like shit. So I think we're a few years off that. But like that would be pretty awesome. I won't lie. If you could just kind of like put your phone up and then it'd just be like a whole thing.
Yeah, that would be cool as shit. I don't know what else what could top that.
Board.
Oh, Elon Musk is going down the like implant route, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not gonna put anything inside of my body. Like I think like I'm gonna sound like a fucking like old geezer in my 50s, just being like, I'm not putting these implants in my body, and then my kids are gonna be like, everybody does this, Dad. But I'm just not gonna do it. Like it just sounds.
So
even if there were a bunch of studies. Sorry.
That's good.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I got my first COVID vaccine today, and when the lady was done, I asked her, I go, did the microchip get in there? I just want to make sure that got in there, and she didn't find it very funny.
Not amused.
She was not amused. She goes, you're not the first one to make a stupid joke today. Somebody asked me earlier when they're gonna get superpowers. And I'm like, that's fucking funny. I'm
That's
like,
really funny.
I go, I could use superpowers, hell, or grow another fucking limb. I could use another arm. Shit, that would be fucking great.
My manager went like the other week. He went to go get his vaccine. He came back and I was like, Taylor, how are you feeling? And he's like, I feel powerful. I feel like I would lift a car.
The vaccine in Mass is great. You get to go to fucking like Gillette
like
Stadium where the Pats play and go in the luxury box, and that's where they do it.
Yeah,
It's like the
ours is inside of an abandoned JCPenney at the mall.
funniest thing.
Oh, I saw those. I saw one of those. Instead,
Dirty.
instead here, it was like a Lord and Taylor or something like that. But
Yeah.
same vibes. Same vibes.
Ours was an abandoned JCPenney inside the mall. I'm surprised the whole mall isn't abandoned by now, but I digress. When I got home from the vaccine, I was flipping through TikTok, and this girl was sitting there saying, I just got my first COVID vaccine. I don't feel any side effects, but I just can't feel my fingers. And she's somebody with doesn't have arms. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucking funny.
That's a good one.
Hey, what to each their own, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are awesome, and I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. You got people. It's people like you that give me a reason to do this show on a continual basis because I get to meet new cool people. We can talk about fucking music and everything else in between and have a good time doing it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, hell yeah! Thanks for having us on, Derek. This is an awesome podcast. We absolutely love talking with you.
Hey man, I appreciate it. So once you guys get started touring again and we can link up either here or there, I would love to sit down with you guys, actually together in the same room and do a show together and maybe do an acoustic set or something along those lines. But I would love to be able to get with you guys, at a show, and being able to see me perform live would be awesome too.
100%. Where in Virginia are you at?
I'm in Northern Virginia, right at the border of Maryland and West Virginia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally talking to our boy Ricky today from Moonlight Booking. I know that I've got cousins in Richmond, so we've already been thinking about going down to Virginia as one of our first kind of runs. So we'll definitely hit you up, man. We'll be down there at some point for
Absolutely. Sure. That sounds great. Absolutely sounds great. But you guys, again, thank you so much for being here tonight. Guys, get the new fucking EP, Redemption, from them. It's fucking badass. All their info is going to be down below. Link it, fucking click it, listen to it, watch it, download it, stream it, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Steal it. I don't care. Just fucking listen to their shit. But then buy tickets. If you're gonna steal their music, at least fucking buy tickets, okay? But in all seriousness, you guys are just badass, and I hope that this next coming year brings you the guys the things that you deserve.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. And you guys have a great rest of your night. And for everybody else, thank you so much for joining me tonight on episode 199. Come back tomorrow for episode 200 with the band Ashes to Omens. Do not fucking miss that. It's going to be a fucking great fucking time. Come back for episode 200 tomorrow. But until then, guys, I love you so fucking much. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you all tomorrow. Stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay fucking heavy. Peace.